So, if in doubt, just play Zephyrus, get the perfect card, get Tyrion, put our faith in the light, and what's the worst that could happen? He's already played Harrison Jones. If in doubt, just play Hadronox, and trigger the death rattle, of course.
That's it. Come on. Failure is an option.
And what's the worst that could happen here? Maybe he plays a Brawl. Fine. We have N'Zoth. We have another Hadronox. We have Elise. Now, the Scarabs are not ideal to get back. They're weak taunts. Weak minions, I should say. But there's still roadblocks that he has to get through. They're still taunts. And so he'll expend a Brawl to deal with them. And that is absolutely fine. Because he's running out of resources. And playing Elise feels so unnecessary, but so much fun. Look at the value in our hand now. He even played Elysiana to refill his deck, but it wasn't enough. It was nowhere near enough. And as we head to the last turn of this game, look at our hand still. We have 3 Renos available to us. We have N'Zoth.
I give up. Self-destruct!
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. So, outvaluing the warrior there. Highly unusual. It's usually the warrior that goes the long game, outvalues their opponents in the long game, and is able to last for quite some time. But this deck right here, by a player called Platurt, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but this is a deck that I found on Reddit, and it is a Reno Taunt Druid. Now, in my last video, you saw me showcasing Get Meowth's Taunt Druid. That was a non-Reno version. I had so much fun playing that deck, and I've had a lot of positive feedback from people who watched that video. I wasn't completely happy with my plays in that last video. I think I misplayed a lot, especially in the first game that was showcased. As time went on, I think I got a bit more practice in and I felt better about piloting the deck. But then I thought, okay, how would it feel to play a Reno version of Taunt Druid? And that's when I found this deck right here. Interesting cards in this deck that make it, at least for me, a lot of fun to play. Elise the Enlightened. You saw a little clip earlier of her duplicating my hand, doubling my hand. That is just insane value. And if you are looking to last the long game against your opponent, particularly if you're going up against a slow control deck, Elise the Enlightened pretty much means you will win the game because you can dish out wave after wave of threats on that board via N'Zoth, via Hadronox, replaying those cards again. So that's pretty nuts. Apart from that, this deck does have some tools to deal with aggro. You have Spreading Plague, you have Doomsayer, you have Swipe, Starfall. So against aggro, it's all about survival and then outvalue them.
Lunara versus Gul'dan.
Okay, let's have a look at a game against a Warlock.
The forest fights back.
And it's either going to be a Mechathun lock or it's going to be Reno lock. And for the most part, I've been facing a lot of Reno locks. It's interesting, after the nerfs went live, I was facing nothing but
Nature's
Big Priest.
blessings upon you.
Mostly Big Priest not playing Barnes. But it was still proof that Big Priest is incredibly strong still, despite the nerf to Barnes. More recently, it's been a lot of Reno Majors and Reno Locks that I've been facing between ranks 5 and 3. Now you play the 2-2 there, and maybe they think, ooh, it's an aggro druid.
Well played.
So you can be somewhat deceptive with this deck. You can fool them at times. What does playing the 2-2 in this deck accomplish? Well, it gives you early board, which is pretty good to have. That's, of course, if you draw the card early on in the game. After turn 10, drawing that 2-2 is probably somewhat worthless in this deck.
This will be good.
But for now, it's doing some work. It's sticking on the board, whacking his face for 2 every time. And the timing with Elise in this deck is incredibly important. You want to get the maximum value. So, getting a second copy of N'Zoth, of Hadronox, that's your priority, I think.
Feed you to master.
Oh wow, this dude plays Fugan. Yeah, Fugan and Stalag combos in Reno Lock I've been seeing more frequently recently. We're just going to ignore it, and he's nearly dead. Of course, being a Reno Lock, he'll have an answer to this situation. I mean, it would be interesting if he played Reno, right, on turn 6. And that would be a good thing. It would get Reno out the way, assuming he doesn't return it to hand. Okay, this is fine. Oh wow.
Your wish is my
I think it's worth playing Zephyrus now, because we know we're going to get the Hex. And now, we've prevented the Fugue and Stalag combo from going off and getting Thaddeus for our opponent. We've prevented that. That's really, really important. I mean, you could make the argument that Zephyrus was worth keeping until late game, so you get like a Twisting Nether from it to clear a much bigger board. Particularly the boards they create when they play N'Zoth and
Well
Gul'dan.
played.
Those are boards that can be hard to deal with, and saving Zephyrus for a turn like that is perhaps a bit more sensible. But here, I saw the value from the Hex, and I thought, okay, I've got to take it. I'm not sure whether to ramp here or to summon a 2-2.
land serves me.
I'm going to get the 2-2. I'm going to get the body. I don't think I'm desperate for mana. No. We're heading into a 8 mana turn. I don't think I'm desperate to ramp. The body on board could be more pertinent in terms of doing more damage to him and maybe setting up some kind of lethal over the next couple of turns.
Rot into my
Or maybe not. But he's just going to heal up now. Okay, there's the Naturalize. So, we're really waiting. We're playing the waiting game. We need our taunts to die. So we need to keep playing them and then getting them killed off. Because we have N'Zoth in hand, we will get Hadronox at some point. So yeah, we just need our taunts to die. Health-wise, we're in a really good position. We have the Emperor ready and waiting.
Unity.
How long should I wait before pulling off an Emperor discount? Should I be waiting for Hadronox to pop into my hand before I play the Emperor? Or is this hand here enough for a discount?
This'll be good.
Away, intruder!
I'm just gonna wait. Slow turn for him here, potentially. 10 mana, but there's only one minion on board, so he's not going to commit AoE to this board.
No, don't. It's still good.
Oh wow. Okay, double Gul'dan. Wow, Felfire Potion. He commits AoE to this board. Probably because he wants to kill off his merchant. Make sure he gets the double Gul'dan to hand. Perhaps fearing a silence from my side. Okay. It does feel like things have slowed down quite a bit for me at this point. I'm still waiting to get Hadronox. Still waiting to go off on this Emperor. And I think it's just too slow for me at this point. He's catching up. Like, he's tapping, he's getting all of these cards. He's catching up.
We're gonna be
Okay, gonna be rich, sure. Oh, Malfurion.
The circle of life is over.
I'm gonna go with the poisonous minions here.
Light and rot.
If I was to summon the Scarabs, then they probably come back, right, with Hadronox, and I don't want that. So yeah, we'll keep the spiders in play. The spiders are being protected by the Enoitron, so you'll have to think very carefully about committing any big demons to this board, unless he's got AoE, of course.
So many possibilities.
Alright, there's Stalag. Oh wow, Shadowflame. He was desperate to get rid of the spiders.
Unity. Precision. Light and rot.
So we have seen Felfire Potion and Shadowflame both used on quite small boards. It's interesting. If he's using all the AoE now, what is he going to do when I start playing Hadronox and N'Zoth and multiple copies of those cards? How is he going to deal with the board? I mean, we know that Twisting Nether is probably in his deck.
I wonder.
Beyond that, Kazakus Potions, maybe? If in doubt, play Mal'Ganis and pretend you're a turtle. Sure. How do we deal with Mal'Ganis? That seems fine. I could actually have done that slightly differently. I could have attacked first with the Enoitron and then cast the spell, and one of the tokens would have survived on the board. Slight misplay there. Although by not keeping a 1/1 token on the board, we are playing around defiled shenanigans. So. Okay, feeling a bit slow again, so I'm gonna play it. I'm going to play that Emperor. I'm going to assume that it dies this turn. Surely he's not going to let that live. But we've got some reasonable discounts there. Yeah. Investing a fair bit there to kill the Emperor, as you should. Still got 7 mana to play with. There she is. There's Hadronox. Okay. I need to start clearing out my hand. This is the challenging part of this deck.
Light and rot.
You can play Elise, you can double your hand, but if your hand is full already, you've got a problem. So, what do I do here? I don't really want to play Hadronox on Azoth until I've played Elise. Alright, here he goes. There's Gul'dan number 1. He doesn't get any kind of ridiculous value from it. Only 3 demons. I mean, Mal'Ganis is a problem. It has to go, has to die. So I think Poison Seeds here has to be the play. Okay. Getting only 3 Scarabs here. So, continuing to make a bit more space in our hand where possible. Really want to get that value from Elise. Swipe is pretty good, but let's gain some armor first. Now he'll be surprised at that. He'll be like, why are you gaining armor? I mean, usually a druid deck like this you'd think would want to draw cards, right? Want to draw answers, want to draw options, different things you could do, have the choice available. You'd want to draw cards. So he's thinking, why the hell did he gain armor? Well, there is a reason. We have Elise in hand, and I want to be in a position to duplicate my hand and get all the value I can get from the Zob and Hadronox. So we need to make space. Now, that's problematic board. There's a lot of damage on that board.
Need a hand, Explorer?
So, play Elise, we duplicate our hand. That doesn't solve our problems on the board, though. So we need to buy some time.
The end is
And
coming!
one good way of buying time is to play Doomsays.
The end is coming!
So now he'll have to divert a lot of his resources into attacking the Doomsays.
And rot.
That protects my face. Alright. I'm assuming here he can quite easily kill off the Doomsayers. The question is, if he does, what else does he follow up with? And if both of my Doomsayers die, what am I following up with next turn? Because we have options, we have choices.
Your wish is my
We have
suggestion.
2 Nazoths, 2 Hadronoxes. And why the hell would you play... Oh god. Okay. I was going to say, why the hell did you play Zephyrus? Knowing that there's probably going to be a ball of taunts coming your way. But no, this kind of makes sense. And I'm really scared.
I must be
Because I'm nearly dead.
now.
Is he just ignoring the Doomsayers? Okay, sure. So he just wrecked his entire board so he could push all that damage face. Can't be the right play. Okay. 4 taunts in the way now. Am I worried about dying? I think I am. So we're going to gain some health here.
I'm almost out of cards.
Alright,
I'm out of
that's a
cards.
good mill. Yeah, we don't want to die to anything unexpected. So gaining a bit of health, gaining a bit of armor is a solid thing to do.
My hunger grows.
Okay, and looking at our hand, the Zoth still to come. Again. Alright, there's the other Gul'dan. Of course.
Shadow.
Alright, that's a really scary board. Double Mal'Ganis. Wow, it's insane. So, if we kill off Mal'Ganis, both of them, can we find some kind of lethal here? It's a lot of thinking. I don't think there's any kind of lethal here for us. I mean, I could be wrong. Do we have the Naturalize? Can that help us in any way? Yeah.
Death is eternal.
We need to get rid of that.
My turn is not.
Fatigue him a bit more. Yeah, that turn was messy. It was really, really messy. And possibly quite incorrect. But I wanted to get rid of the Despicable Dreadlord just because of that 1 damage AoE that I really don't like. Okay. So, he'll have to work hard now to clear this board. And if he does, I have 3 options in my hand that are going to do some work for me. A lot of thinking going on my opponent's side.
So many bloody decisions.
Yeah, there's a lot of decisions to make. That fatigue damage is going to be eating away at him. So I guess we just need to last out a little bit longer. Keep our board full with these 3 wonderful cards in my hand. And maybe he'll just succumb to fatigue.
Death does not scare me.
Deathlord is a problem. Or is it? Or is it? No, it's fine. Right? Okay, specifically then, what are we afraid of Deathlord bringing out from our deck? I mean, if it brought out a N'Zoth, we'd be sad, but that's irrelevant because we've just played N'Zoth. If it brought out a Hadronox, and then the opponent could silence it, or just deal with it very easily without the Death Rattle proccing, we'd be sad. But with a board like this, and a hand like this, we don't have anything to be scared of here. I'm surprised that he's still continuing on with this game. Now that he knows what kind of a deck I am, I'm surprised he's still carrying on. Okay. What are you gonna do, Warlock?
So many bloody
How many demons do you have in your hand to come out from those void callers? Probably not very many. But yes, if in doubt, play Zephyrus. But that's not really going to help him here. It's just delaying the inevitable. That fatigue damage is really going to stack up soon. Now, I want to kill Zephyrus in case there's a way for him to shuffle it back in the deck or return to hand. We really don't want that happening. So Zephyrus is our priority there to kill. And once again, he finds himself in a position...
I have no time for games.
Wow, no time for games. Yeah, a position where we have him outmatched on the board. But Sylvanas only just takes N'Zoth. That's fine. He's going to have to grind his way through my board, minion by minion, one at a time. Right then. So... do we just play Hadronox? I don't think we do. That's fine. That is absolutely fine.
warriors of the frozen wastes.
Okay. This Warlock is going through his last moments here.
I'm out of cards.
We're now out of cards. That's fine. Just play Hadronox. So, Hadronox number 1, Hadronox number 2 available to us.
Your magic shall not
Oh, that's really annoying.
You will wither and rot.
Ow. And now you start to get a little bit worried. Are we seriously going to be outvalued by the Lich King here? And it seems that fatigue is just going to do him in. I mean, the Lich King could give him the healing spell, maybe. But even then, it's just going to be so inevitable. There is nothing he can do to win this. Still feels the need to go face.
Nice.
We're gonna be rich. That's a pretty sweet win. Once again, just a complete case of outvaluing our opponent with this amazing deck. So, thank you very much to Platurt for this deck. It's so much fun to play. I'd be curious to see if there are other versions of Reno Taunt Druid out there, and if anyone's got any thoughts on which versions are superior, the differences between the versions, because that's the beauty of Reno decks. You can tech cards in, tech cards out, depending on the kind of meta that you're facing. So yeah, Reno Taunt Druid, one of my favourite decks if you can stomach the long games and if you have time to play. I play a lot of Hearthstone on the train, so when I leave for work in the morning, maybe I will get 20 minutes or so of Hearthstone on the train on a 90-minute journey, and when I leave work to come home, maybe I'll get 20 to 30 minutes on that 90-minute return journey. And I have to be very cautious because there are a lot of tunnels around, a lot of blank spots in terms of my my mobile data connection not being able to connect. And so I've got to be careful with how long my games go. And if I were to play a deck like this on the train, I do not think that good train RNG would be with me. The chances are I would hit a tunnel probably at the 15 to 20 minute mark of the game, and then I'd lose. So yes, if you have lots of time on your hands, consider playing this deck, and if you have a stable Wi-Fi or a mobile data connection, then consider playing this deck. If you're going through tunnels like me on the train, don't play this deck on the train. So, thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all again very soon, as always, for more Wild Mode fun.